Yo, it's your boy Sirigat, aka Schildkummer, reporting for duty. Okay, I'm kidding. Alright, so basically, before we start, this is a Plaguefall 16 Fortified inspiring Grievous Tormented, new Affix, new season 2, right? New patch. Continuing my Holy Priest adventures. I've been really enjoying this spec in dungeons, and as you can see, we started with a skip. Shroud, pretty convenient, pretty good way to do this dungeon, I would say. On a Fortified week, these packs on start can be quite difficult. I don't think this is necessary, but I like it, so we just kind of like do it. This is a full, like, these guys are my guildies. Downfall, Ragnaros. We did like, I think 2 or 3 dungeons together in a row. This was the second one, I believe. One thing I noticed in this current season is that for now, it might be the tuning, but we've had like pretty clean runs and failed the time keys. I'm assuming that the reason is we are lacking damage, since we do not have, you know, like sats and gear and all of that stuff. I mean, sats don't really work in dungeons, right? Although some people say they do, but they're not supposed to, so that's not really the main thing. But I do think that, you know, our eye level is still not on a level where it's expected to be for the new season, so I think there's a little bit of that as reasoning. Okay, so essentially, gotta be careful here with these slimes. This is I feel like I should have done more healing here, maybe even pop paralysis. It's just very like a lot of damage is being dealt here, and when these guys die, they leave a very like high damage dealing pools underneath them. I believe that you can dispel this, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe if you just mass dispel it, the buff will be gone and they do not leave the slime underneath. Could be wrong about that though, to be honest. It's a little bit actually embarrassing that I don't know after so long, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not like this feels weird to say, but like in dungeons at least, I actually like don't pay that much attention to detail. I don't know, I have this like attitude, which is kind of weird to say, but I feel like, you know, I'm there mostly to heal and help out like with CC and deal damage as much as I can, and I'm not really too worried about mechanics, which is just so bad. And I mean, obviously, like, I know a lot of things, obviously, just from playing and stuff like that, but I haven't really, you know, I feel like if I really wanted to try hard these keys, I would probably open up like a dungeon book or whatever, and I would read through every single ability, which actually I do plan to do at some point. Here I think I'll get hit by this. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Like, usually I'm behind this guy. I don't know what I was doing, but yeah, just overall pretty chill so far. Made sure to stun that guy. That probably wasn't the most efficient play, to be honest. I probably should have just used the chastise on the guys simply for damage purposes, and that would have benefited us more. But you know, these little decisions, like, they didn't really, they can make a difference obviously, but most of the time they don't, at least in 16s. You don't need to play flawlessly to time a 16 even this early into the patch. Anyway, here we go. First boss, Globgrog. You know, pretty easy boss for us. I like to dispel myself here selfishly. Ever since I'm Kyrian and not Ventir, I do not have that Door of Shadow anymore. What I used to do before is I would Door of Shadow and then I would grip the most immobile class. But we can't do that anymore, so we just have to rely on single target dispel and then getting in position and keeping people alive. Which is not hard, especially not on Fortified. This was pretty chill. Like, as you can see, I'm mostly spamming smite and damage abilities. There's not much healing going on. Look at me just smiting. Cast Holy Fireplace. Yeah, I was getting in position to fear here, but then they said they'll fear, and I was like, okay. And here things got a little bit sketchy. As soon as we need to move, things get a little bit scary, because we, like, Holy Priest is not the most mobile healer in the world. Similar to Disc. Disc, I feel like Disc is pretty mobile, but I feel like Disc is even less mobile than sorry, this guy's more mobile than Holy. Like Holy literally, like you do have instant abilities. It's not that you don't, and you have more than Disc, but if you have to move in critical situations, chances are it's gonna be rough. But yeah, anyway, here, you know, just keeping up Guardian Spirit as much as you can on the tank helps a lot. It helps them with their self-sustain, which is really nice for, I find, for example, for DHs and DKs. I mean, I know not a lot of people play DKs, but don't sleep on DKs. DKs are a good tank for them. Plus, they lack damage, so there's that. But in terms of survivability and like overall utility with AMZ, you know, and they're not bad at all. I actually have a lot of respect for Blood DKs. I've been saying this even in the last season, and they're even stronger now. And here I made a mistake. I actually did not see the guy. Like I saw the other one that I tried to step on, but I didn't notice that I stepped on the first one, and that kind of killed me. And you can see here, like I was checking what killed me. I was really surprised because it felt like I just died instantly, and obviously it wasn't really instantly. I stepped on two guys and that's it. So yeah, just a lot of trash here. Some of it is dangerous. You need to prioritize your dispels properly here, and obviously use your chastise on the target that you can stun. In this case, that's an inspired ad. Probably I should not have stunned there, simply because we have a rogue, so he should have stunned, and I should have saved my stun for now. And then he should have stunned something else, but we're not like the most coordinated group, you know. We're just kind of like relying on it, on like individually making good decisions and kind of trusting our tank with a route and stuff like that. Like we're not, you know, like we don't really push keys together that much, so I can't you know, you can't expect like perfect amount of coordination from this group at least. And here's something weird happened. I actually remember this. You will see. We'll see. I think this is the key in which it happened. We'll see in a second. Yeah, so like this glob, we're gonna move on for some reason. I'm not sure why we did that. But it's just gonna keep casting and casting, and I don't know, it was weird. Because it got interrupted multiple times, but it just refuses to come. And I'm not sure if that's what she said. I'm not sure if that's normal or not. I really am not sure, because it was very weird to me that it's just like chilling there and casting. That felt so weird. That's what it is. Yeah, overall, there's not much to say, to be honest. Like, just pressing the buttons, you know, trying to cast as many Shadow Word paints as I can, and obviously Holy Fires, and then chastisizing the mobs that are you know, casting some sort of ability simply to help my team with CCs. Even though in this group we had quite a bit of CC between Mage and Rogue. Obviously Rogue I consider to be like one of the best utility classes in M+, simply because of how much they bring with both like blind, kidney, cheap shots, just overall good utility from rogues. They bring a lot of utility. They can single-handedly, like, and obviously a melee interrupt, which is good. Which is like, what, 15 seconds, I think? The only better interrupt you have in a game is Shami's, right? So, and here, okay, so I want to talk about this for a second. Okay, so if you look at the previous pull, I made a mistake. I put both Tuft and Guardian Spirit on my tank. So why I consider that a mistake? It wasn't necessarily a mistake, but it was suboptimal usage of my utility, and now we paid, because if I used just Tuft, he was fine with Tuft, and then I could have also popped Apotheosis, and he would have been fine. And here, if I had Guardian Spirit on him, he would not have died. So even though, like, I wouldn't call that necessarily a mistake, I will say suboptimal usage of our toolkit, and therefore we got punished for it. Most of the time I feel like you don't get punished for it, but this time we actually kind of got punished for it, and that is okay. this wasn't, I think we pulled extra like that we didn't plan to, and tank had no CDs or something. But either way, I could have dealt with it if I just didn't overuse things on the previous pull. The thing is, like, trying to balance between not overusing things and underusing things is sometimes a very delicate thing that requires a lot of experience. Like I always say, it's better to press your CDs. But at the same time, you don't want to be pressing your CDs too much because, you know, then you don't have them when you need them, and that is not good. You need to find the balance, you know. You need to kind of know when your tank is gonna need your things and when he isn't, and that comes down to communication. And DHs are really scary, especially because Arius here, who's tanking, he's not like fully optimized for tanking anymore because he places DPS in raids. So like he lacks certain things that he would bring as if he was like full-time tanking, like he was in the previous season for most of the keys we did together. So he's a little bit squishier than usual. And honestly, like, he's doing a great job, like staying alive, dealing a lot of damage. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not even saying I made a mistake per se. I simply tried to keep my tank alive, but knowing we used both Tooth and Guardian there, we really could not afford a bigger pull, and we still went for it, whether by you know, by an accident or not. So either he had to do a big CD, or we needed to have one of our utilities up, and yeah. But that's a very good example, like, of a very clear, like, lesson, let's say, like something that isn't necessarily a mistake, but costed us something, and obviously could be worked on. And here I should not have dropped my flash concentration. That was a mistake. I even had an instant proc, very lucky. I could have just cast it and keep my stacks up. And this can matter sometimes because it can help you preserve mana, because 5 flash heals are a bad thing. You do not want to be casting flash heal, no. Flash heal is really, in most of the situations, simply just a filler to keep our concentration up on 5 stacks, in my opinion. Now, maybe somebody will disagree, and there definitely are cases in which you probably are getting some decent value out of flash heal. For example, what I do if I do not manage to fish for the procs for the instant cast, I will, like, when the DPS takes, like, I don't know, 10% or 20% of the HP as damage, I would just throw in a flash heal on them, simply because it's like a little bit quicker, and also because it will reset my stacks, and therefore like allow me to focus more on healing other things. And yeah, this guy is easy, like just save Sanctify and the Circle of Healing and like Prayer of Mending, cast it on CD basically. I'm playing with that talent that leaves Renew on every time Prayer of Mending jumps. So basically you can, with one global CD, you can like hot everybody up, which is very powerful actually. I feel like it might be a little bit underrated. And there I don't know if you saw that, guys, but he died through Tooth. He literally died through Tooth. That was really weird. And here I did him. I got like, I really panicked, which is actually kind of fun. It's actually kind of funny how I said this guy is easy, and then we made him very hard because we also did an extra pull. But that's what happens. And you can see how, like, now I popped Apotheosis, and you can see like how my heals are slow because I lost my stacks, and that is a mistake, and that's something I'm struggling right now. This is like one of the few things I still need to figure out as Holy, as a new Holy, is how, as a Kyrian, how do you prioritize spells when you use that Ascended Boon? Obviously Ascended Boon is an insanely good CD. It's incredibly powerful what that thing can do. It deals a lot of damage. It essentially turns you into a pretty good DPS, and you can do some decent healing with it as well, especially if you're playing Discipline Priest rather than Holy. But even as a Holy, you can turn it into healing, right, when it explodes. But what you gotta be careful of is that when you pop Boon, you do not want to be having to cast heals. But I'd still think you should prioritize keeping your stacks up at 5 at all times, no matter what the cost is. You need to keep those stacks up. In like 98% of the situations, you do not want to be losing the stacks. So therefore, what I would suggest is what I do. And obviously if somebody has like a better idea, feel free to like tell me in comments. Like I would love to see what others are thinking and what others are feeling, whether they think what I'm saying is good or not, and just any sort of feedback. But essentially what I'm thinking is we cast it before we plan to deal damage, right? So it stays like we have 20 seconds then, and boon does not last 20 seconds. So therefore you can ensure that you do not have to waste any time during boon and still deal that full boon damage, which is pretty good. Yes, and here these packs are easy. Just make sure to interrupt as much as you can and then dispel this whenever you can. Also pay attention, you might need to grip somebody if they get... Actually, can you grip through root? I'm not sure. But essentially here you want to be paying attention to people in these spells. You really want to make sure you prioritize these spells properly. It's not easy actually, it's quite difficult sometimes. Obviously the best thing we can do as a group is to interrupt as much as we can, but sometimes you can't, you know, with Inspired Ad. Here I should be casting Chastise on the Inspired mob. I don't know why I'm not doing that. Sometimes I'm too focused on healing, especially right now when I'm learning the new class. It's you can see like I cast Chastise next to Inspired Mob, which didn't even get stunned, so it's kind of a waste. Like it was much better if I cast it on the Plague Binder, right? And then yeah, and here I lost stacks again, a bit sloppy of me, and now the heal is very slow, and I notice. And as I said, like just keep in mind, I'm still getting used to this holy priest thing. It's been hella fun though. I really liked it. Still, I'm actually really enjoying keys as holy. Kind of miss disc though, but and I don't think disc is bad. Let me just clarify that. I do not think disc is bad at the moment. I actually tried it, I think in 2 keys or something, and I had a lot of fun. And I feel like you can deal more damage than you do as a holy. But just the amount of healing the holy does is like really high compared to this. I mean, not it's not even about the amount. Amount is actually pretty similar. It's just like the ease of it and like the tools that we have available is just holy is like easier. I think that's like the simplest way to explain it. Like holy is just easy to play. Okay, easier. I'm not gonna say easy because I think any class is difficult if you're trying to, you know, be a good player, but it's easier definitely than disc. Like on disc, every global CD can cost you quite a bit, and if you make a mistake, somebody might die because you didn't prepare properly, you like rupture, or you didn't have atonement on them when you were bursting or something like that. This is just much simpler. It's you see somebody go down, you press your heal. You have instant heals, you have guardians, you have him, you have symbol, you have AoE heal, 2 good AoE heals. You have a CD that resets all these insane CDs you have. It's just like so good. Like Holy's toolkit is just so enjoyable to play. It really reminds me of like old school Holy Paladins that were spamming like just like the basic heal, and then like Holy Shock and heal and just nothing else. The good old days. It's just like a very simple spot healer. Just a standard. This is like if somebody asked me like, hey, I want to start healing, what class do you think I should pick? I would say Holy Priest. I'm not saying like, once again, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that it's the simplest one. All I'm saying is that, okay, I'm saying that it's the simplest one. What I'm saying is that I'm not saying it's easy to play on high level, but it's easy to pick up, and it's pretty straightforward on how you can improve as opposed to some other classes. Like to squeeze more healing out of, for example, Disc or Holy Paladin, you need to really stretch your brain cells quite a bit, whereas this is just like pretty straightforward. Just cast more heals, lol. Something like that. I'm a little bit memeing now, but it actually is like that. And here I'll pop I'll actually pop Boon to help with explosion, because we've been ignoring this explosion for some reason. I don't know what we were doing here. I guess everybody just assumed others will take care of it, and we just kind of like just forgot about it, or I don't know what that was, but it was really bad. But luckily we kind of, you know, kind of more enjoyable. And here, this was a bit scary. Like I'm standing, look at how close I'm standing. But I was ready to react. Like you could have, I don't know if you guys can feel it, but you could have seen based on my camera angle. Like I was ready to, like if it goes on me, I go forward. If it goes in front of me, I just move a little bit like to left. I was ready to react there for sure. So, you know, not too shabby. And here I actually make like a pretty good play here. Like toothed myself, guardian him. I mean guardian, not guardian him. That's not an ability. I mean guardian him, Irius, and just kept us both alive. That was actually like pretty intense, pretty good play by me, I would say. Go me. But yeah, here like I think we should have separated Slime from the boss a little bit more. I'm not sure if we got any. Oh yeah, we had some banish troubles here. Yeah, somebody I think attacked on banish and then he had to recast banish and it was just a cluster fudge, but we made it. And honestly, like, listen, not bad damage for Holy Priest. 2.1k DPS on a boss fight. With lost, but still, you know, you gotta help your team. And 2.1k is not bad. Like those are pretty high numbers, I would say, for a Holy Priest, for a class that heals as much as we do. Like the potential for damage, like how hard your smite hits. Just like, don't underestimate smite spam. Like, smite is strong. Smite is very strong. And then, if you have multiple targets, just dotting everybody up while keeping your tank alive. Don't forget to, like, don't sacrifice your tank just to dot everybody up. It's a mistake I sometimes make. That's why I'm saying, don't do that. That feels really bad. And then, like, the tank looks at you and he's like, healer? And that's one of the few situations where they actually rightfully ask healer question mark, because, you know, as a disc, I say like dotting everybody up has a lot more value simply because through all the dots you also get hots. But as a holy, we don't get that. So, you know, just gotta keep your tank alive first. Maybe give him like a defensive. Maybe, you know, put a guardian on him and some hots on him, and then keep that instant heals ready for him. And like Serenity, for example, right? You wanna keep Holy Word Serenity ready for the tank, so you can instantly cast him while you're dotting everything up, and that's, for example, a good play, I would say. That would be good, yeah. Something to consider. It's also something to note. I actually, like, this is something I've been really theory crafting between myself, you know, like thinking how to properly optimize. There's like a fine line regarding, and see here again I lost my flash concentration stacks because I was casting Ascended Boon. Just something to pay attention to. Don't do that. It's not worth it. Even if it I think even if it costs you one cast during Boon, you should still get your stacks up. And Birkin died there. I don't know what happened. I think he died to aggro or something. I don't know. He just died, right? I think he literally just got one shot. But yeah, what I wanted to say is you gotta find, see, like, logically, in terms of output only, you want to cast Serenity as much as you can, right? However, like your holy words in general, not just Serenity. But the thing is, so here's what I'm thinking. Like, you also want that, because that's like your oh shit button, right? Because, okay, sorry for swearing. I'm trying to like to say less bad words for the videos, just in case like some kids are watching, but it keeps slipping away. You want to focus on, like, you want that instant big heal to be ready for when you really need it, for that like oh no moment, like when it gets scary, right? You don't want to just use it for sake of using it when it's gonna overheal by like 10k for no reason. When heal is good enough, like spam heal is literally enough to keep tank alive in any situation if he has like a semi-CD running. Like, obviously, like, unless it's like necrotic weak or he's standing in like sanguine and getting hit by 15 fortified mobs, or like in ranged mob or something like that. But in like your standard situation, unless it's like Halls of Atonement dogs, like, you can keep tank alive literally by spamming heal on him with 5 stacks of concentration, and then when he starts getting shredded like he is now, then you can Guardian Spirit him or Tooth him. And that's it. That's how we heal tanks, right? We don't have that much more. And I also try to leave Prayer of Mending on tanks as much as I can, so it leaves that HOTS on him and also like on group. Here I wasn't doing it as much because this key I actually did. This was the first day of the reset. So this was before I got like a little bit more practice on the spec. Like I'm still fresh at this point. This is maybe my 9th key, 8th key, something like that. So like just something to keep in mind, like this is still suboptimal play. There'll be a little bit better keys uploaded later where I think I played much better than I did now. But this was also an okay gameplay. Not bad, not too shabby. Like some mistakes here and there, but most of the deaths were not on me. Most of them. Some were. Not gonna lie, some I could have prevented, but I couldn't. I wouldn't like blame them on me, but I could have prevented them. That was a really good fear, by the way. We interrupted the stealth links. However, it wasn't enough, and I think we might almost wipe here. I should cast Sanctify here. Yeah, I do. Okay, that was a good play. Good job. Good job, me. That was good. That was good. We did all we could. And this is one of the advantages of Holy Priest, right? Any other healer dies here, it's a wipe. We still keep the group alive. It's really good. That spirit is really strong. I would say to make a macro, this is something I don't do yet, because I need to do it. I'm lazy with macros. But make a macro to cancel the spirit, because sometimes people might want to battle res you and you're like in spirit and then you're like trying to right click your buffs. You might right click your flask or some class buff or something. Just make a macro, like give one key on your keyboard or your bars to fucking canceling that spirit, and that's it. And yeah, here we'll go into the boss. This boss is pretty straightforward, especially on non-tyrannical weeks. Nothing really to say about him. Just keep the guy that's targeted by the jump alive. Help like keep people alive. You can use boon when to get extra value when the assassins are coming. And I think that's it. I don't think there's much more to say. That's what I would say to do here. And obviously PI somebody. I feel like my PI usage here was pretty suboptimal. That's one thing I could improve, because as disc I'm really like more used to using it because I also get PI, so I'm like trying to get that extra value out of it. Sounds selfish, but it's just like a mentality thing, right? But I am trying to cast it as much as I can. Like I think I cast it pretty much off CD here, but because I know Birkin is a really good player, so that's why I'm PIing Birkin. Although technically I think PI would have more value mathematically speaking if we gave it to Zikudot, but because like right now Demo locks benefits the most by far from the PI. The only class that benefits more is actually Ventir, Balanced Druid. No, actually even they don't benefit as much. Like I think some people have done math on that. I think it's like very close between Afflilock, Damalock and Ventir Druids, and then obviously everybody knows about Unholy DKs during army, but surprisingly even they are not as high priority for PI as Demolock is, for example, during the Tyrant, so that's just something to consider. There's like a lot of cool plays you can do to buff that Tyrant burn phase on locks. That's what makes them powerful right now. I'm not gonna go into it, primarily because I fully don't understand it, so I don't want to say something that's wrong and like have somebody later, you know, maybe, you know, just don't want to spread misinformation. I don't like to do that. You can do your own research. Obviously, I doubt that people who are interested in how to maximize lock DPS are watching this video anyway, so... but yeah, overall, I was pretty pleased with this key. It is 16 fortified, so, you know, just it wasn't a cake. What's the expression? Cake walk? No, cake? No, I don't know. You know. It wasn't a walk in the park, I guess, is one of the expressions I can use. It wasn't easy. It was challenging. We had a lot of deaths, as you can see, 9. I mean, that might not sound like a lot, but it kinda is this early into the patch. It kinda is. Here we do a nice thing with Shroud there, and, you know, I'm not gonna, like, there's not much to say here. I'm just gonna let you watch, guys, until the boss fight, but just keep in mind here, you can dot all of these up, and then you can spam Holy Nola to help out. Just be careful with aggro. Like, you really should not take aggro, but just be careful, because, yeah, these guys will one-shot you as a priest. You're just gonna get clapped. And before we start the fight, I just want to say thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you for being here. Thank you for clicking and checking out, you know, my channel. There's more videos there. There's gonna be more in the future as well. You know, if you don't mind, like, tell me what you think. Like, do you prefer the old videos that had music, or do you like it more with like this, without music, with in-game sound? Do you have any suggestion, anything we could improve, either in gameplay or the video itself? Just let me know what you think in comments. It would mean a lot to me. And obviously, like, subscribe, comment if you want to. I would appreciate it. And like, as you guys know, on this boss fight, the main thing to pay attention to is basically the rain. But since it's not tyrannical, it's only fortified. It wasn't that bad. I'm saving Sanctify here because I know that the rain will expire soon. So we're just trying to keep people alive. And Birkin uncharacteristically dies here. This is very unusual for him. I think he will get a res. Hopefully, we have 2 Bella reses at this point. Yeah, Zico probably cast it on him, but he's just waiting for tentacles. Yep, there we go. And now we're doing some healing here. I have Circle of Healing, I have Prayer of Mending, so that's probably what I'm looking to use on the next rain. We will see what I do though, but if I had to assume, that's probably what I'm gonna use. So saving that Sanctify, Prayer of Mending went off on Arius, so now it's jumping and hotting everybody up. I'm doing some healing casts, and let's have Sanctify if in things, you know, in case things go get a little bit scary. That was a really good altar time. Help out, like, if you're playing DPS and you're watching this video for whatever reason, or if you're a healer and you're playing with your friends, insist that they use defensives and personals and health pots, health stones during these rains. They really are very stressful for us healers, especially if you only got 1 dispeller like we do. 1 dispel makes this rain really hard. That's why I really like it when you have like another dispel in the group for this dungeon in general. And we do have rogue that can cloak as well, so I was just telling them, like, I got this for now, so just like keep DPSing and keep your defenses. And here we actually die on 2 people, which is really weird and unusual. We've been pretty consistent in dodging mechanics throughout the dungeon, but we made a mistake there. And here I had like difficulty keeping stacks up and like keeping everybody alive, and also I was like a little bit not in a panic mode. It wasn't really a panic, but just like being very like cautious and sort of like, you know, just paying attention to what's going on. And here I toothed myself because I was dying to rain while I had to move. Here I'm trying to get my stats back up. I still have Sanctify, I still have Circle of Healing. I cast both of them. I had also him in case things go wrong. And Iris gets Poxstorm. But yeah, once again guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You have a great day, guys.